I'm trying to find all emails that are sent from me to highest instance Prosecution of Serbia, which is Republic Prosecution Office. They are now renamed to Supreme Prosecution Office. So first thing that I noticed is something very strange. So if I search for this, nothing happens. But if I search for, so this is their documents office. If I search the vice versa, then I have a lot of results, and it can be seen here that they just confirmed in every mail they sent me. They just confirmed they received my email, which I requested them to do by email. These are all confirmations. So this is the documents office of High Council of Prosecutors, now renamed to I think Supreme Council of Prosecutors. So I needed to do this because they, in answers that prosecutors and chief prosecutors sent, all of them from all prosecution offices involved, they just pick some of my crime reports, emails which are actually crime reports. So I needed to be sure that they received it. So this is the reply, and so on and so on. So as can be seen, they just, from this email, they just confirmed they received my emails. Also just confirmation. This is mine. Confirmation. So this is the last one. This is also just confirmation. Confirmation. This is something that was not sent by them, but by this, from this address. I received it from this address. So I think this is the next one, or maybe not. Again, just confirmation. This one is just one email, and the last one, again, just confirmation. So this is, again, this is the highest instance of prosecution in Serbia. So so I checked out everything regarding this email from both directions. But I want to show something very strange. So if I check out, if I search for addresses related to this domain, I got only these three. So this document office is not shown here. Even if I go with this, I still don't have that. This is a different email domain, which is something I'd never seen before, and I just show that this email exists. I mean, I received emails from them. So I will now check out their other addresses. I never received anything from this. I think this is the secretary. I received nothing from her. And nothing from cabinet of that prosecution. The only thing I received is from this lady, Natasha Jurisic. She's probably working there as a documents office staff. So let's see, I have two emails from that she sent me. This is just, I just forwarded this to my brother. So I'm doing this in order to show all the prosecutors and chief prosecutors involved in case of monstrous murders of my family, in cover-up. So of course I will show this in form of their response. That doesn't mean there are some other prosecutors and chief prosecutors that are not involved, because they haven't sent me. There are their decisions, but they haven't sent me. But these are the ones that sent me their decisions, and I think that all of them are by email. So I'm only interested here in highest instance prosecution offices, and these are Republic. So this is the highest prosecution office, Republic Prosecution Office, and the second one is Prosecution Office of Appeal or Appeals in Belgrade, right below this prosecution. So they are dealing basically with not directly, well, not basically, but they are dealing with work of lower instance prosecution, and in most of the cases they are not, except in some special instances, they are not working on any sort of investigation on any crime, of any crime, except if that crime is committed by the lower instance prosecutions. So of course their work is extremely important, because they ensure that lower instance prosecutions who are working on real crime, they do their job properly. They're doing their job properly. So the first one is Deputy Prosecutor Snezhana Nenezic. So this is number of the case, which is open in 2017, when I reported a prosecutor from higher instance prosecution in Smederevo working on my, Deputy Prosecutor Alexander Kuzmanic working on my grandfather's murder. So she covered up in all the possible ways. I have videos on that, so I won't go into details here. So they opened that case. I just showed the number. So I think this is the first time they answered. I asked them multiple times to answer, so, or maybe this is the first time. Let's see. Maybe this is the first time. So yeah, so this is the first time they answered. They answered 2 years after I sent them first email, after they opened the case. Again, it's the same Deputy Prosecutor Snezhana Nenezic. So this is a mistake. It's not 884/19, but 884/ the number of the case /17, which can be seen here in the decision they sent 2 months later. So what can be concluded here is that they waited for my father to die, because he was the last one who was poisoned by monstrous murder on my family. So they waited my father to die, and then they answered, because my father died in December 2018. If they did their job, my father will be alive. So I want to just comment briefly this the first decision. So this is decision of that prosecutor deputy prosecutors. She said that one of many emails is sent to them. They picked only one and they call it submission. It's not a submission, it's a crime report. Special case of submission where prosecutors and deputy prosecutors act by the definition of their job or ex officio, meaning they are doing everything independently. Afterwards, when I do all the work, they can ask for some clarification from person who filed crime report, but not before that. So there, she is invoking, she's referring to some article from their rule book, but actually she's ignoring the long criminal proceedings which is above this rule book. And again, she waited after my father died to so that all the pieces of evidence are removed, and then she answered. Of course, I asked her to explain why she just forwarded this case to Prosecution of Appeals in Belgrade. This is just confirmation from Prosecution of Appeals in Belgrade that they received my email. And I asked when she's going to answer. And again, Prosecution of Appeals in Belgrade confirmed my email. That's it. So I don't know why there is no here that email I sent. Yeah, why there is no. Okay, it doesn't matter actually. They confirmed both receiving both emails, and I explained why I needed this confirmation. So this is regarding the highest instance prosecution of Serbia, and their emails they sent to me. And let's see emails I sent to them. So this one and this one, and of course that strange address which doesn't show up in the autocomplete. So let's see. What? Okay, this doesn't work. For some reason, so I will need to go one by one. This is not slow. Okay, so this is what I sent. This is when my father was still alive, so I asked them to answer, and I of course addressed their cabinet. Another email, a long one, and so on and so on. Okay, so let's see another one. Cabinets. Wow, a lot of emails. So I'll just open. This is actually when everything started. So this is the email to prosecutor here who was in charge of investigating my grandfather's murder. I asked here for pictures of my grandfather's autopsy. He sent me some low level resolution pictures, and then after he refused to send me high resolution pictures, I reported him to that highest instance prosecution office. I skipped prosecution office of appeals, and they reacted they did everything in few days. There is again email to that prosecutor investigating my grandfather's murder. So they as I showed in that email from prosecution office, Republic prosecution office, they reacted. So this was August 2017. They reacted. The response was really fast. They did everything in a few days. Usually it takes months, and then someone stepped in. So this email is crime report that was initiated at DA 884 case with number 884/17, and they refused to send me any information on that until my father died in 2017. Sorry, in 2018, December 2018. And these are then emails to social workers, not really important. But in the end, I managed to get those pictures in high resolution. So this is basically when everything started, and well, at least in form of emails. And there is a something that happened before that, which is in folder related to higher instance prosecution of Smederevo, where Alexander Kuzmanovic was working and still works. So this is the related folder. So there are some problems with the preview of pictures here, so I cannot easily locate the request. I think that this is the request. No, it's not. So I'm trying to find the request which is actually which is filed in January 2017, beginning of January 2017. We here's the one. So this is the request I filed. These are 4 pages. So after I filed this, deputy prosecutor, so again that's his name, Alexander Kuzmanovic, high instance prosecution of Smederevo, so he investigated my grandfather's murder. This is the case of my grandfather. case related to my grandfather's murder. So after I sent him this, so again this is picture, what is it, 14, right? Yeah, it starts from picture 14. So 4 pages. I gave a lot of details why I need the autopsy. He sent me, but with low resolution pictures, and I explained the rest, what happened. So basically this request, which is also a crime report, is when everything officially started, so 6th of January 2017, and to this day I received not a single case related to monstrous murders of my family, and also not a single case related to crime reports filed against me. All of them are false reporting, of course. So I explain in other videos how they are basically ignoring me, and even when they answer, this is just that small text, this small piece of text that only their decision without no explanation, and I got only 2 decisions with explanation. I have videos on them. So and even in those 2 explanations, only 2 for everything started in 2017. So today is what's this, 7th of July 2023. So they still haven't sent any of the cases. I have a full right to have those cases, and otherwise they need to send me detailed explanation why I cannot have it. I also haven't received that as well. So this was regarding the I should be in incognito mode, but okay, I opened regular window by mistake. I need a incognito to avoid that caching, which is using a lot of memory for no real reason. So okay, and I don't have enough memory here. So that was regarding cabinet. So a lot of emails. Of course, I'm not going to open all of them. So as I showed, they haven't sent any emails, so no emails from cabinet to me. So the last one is this, and I think that I opened this one already. Okay, so this was all regarding the highest instance prosecution of Serbia, and as you saw, first mail they sent after 2 years after I sent them, actually more than 2 years after I sent them first email. Again, they waited until my father died as the last person who was poisoned, hoping that they probably don't know that poisons can be detected several years after a person dies. The best example is that actress. I cannot now remember what's her name, but I remember there was excavation. Her father wanted excavation, and it turned out that she was poisoned with rat poison. Probably they don't know that, so okay. So this was everything regarding DA highest instance prosecution, and officially there is only one deputy prosecutor from that office involved in the case officially. And of course, she could not ignore me without her chief prosecutor allowing this. I mean, they are supposedly independent, but chief prosecutor in these cases must promise protection when they are brutally breaking the law. So again, they were waiting my father to die to answer, and when they answered, it was some small piece of text. It's only part of the decision with no explanation. So I will now go to the prosecution office, which is right below Republic Prosecution Office, and this is Belgrade Prosecution of Appeals, which is here. So this is court. This is also court, so only one address. So I will first go to vice versa and see how many files are there. I'm only interested in first ones. So September 2019, after my grandfather died. Let's see, this is the first email I sent them. So both to Republic Prosecution, to them, and this, I don't know what's this, MPN, Ministry of, I don't know what. So these are emails I sent them. They confirmed they received them, and so on and so on. Again, I'm not going to check out all of them. This is okay. This is when court and DA notary Bojana Babić from Smederevo, multiple courts and multiple prosecution offices were trying. So September 2019, they were trying to explain that in another video, but I'll mention just mention here. They were trying to give all the property by committing a fraud, all the property to that monster who murdered my family, hoping that they will help her. They will prove that she's innocent by doing that. So this is another email. I explained everything about this in other emails, so I won't go into details. They just confirm here they received it. So they are one of the prosecution officers who did nothing. So they knew what's going on, and they did nothing to prevent those monsters to steal my whole property and to give it to that monster who murdered my family. I prevented this after I contacted United States Embassy in Belgrade. They gave up. Okay, so again, I'm not going to go to all those emails I sent. Obviously there are a lot of them. So 22. let's just open this one. This is related to other part of the fraud when they after judge committed a fraud, multiple frauds during my father's inheritance proceedings. Then they also committed a fraud by giving the ownership in cadastre, which is dealing with ownership of properties. So they gave that monster who murdered my family, 3 members of my family, they gave her third of my property, again by committing a fraud, as it can be seen here. Even the highest prosecution offices did nothing. They knew what's happening, but they did not. They were pretending nothing is happening. And of course, the other ones committed those frauds because they promised protection from all those courts and prosecution offices, of course. So I think there should be enough regarding this direction of communication. So let's go vice versa. AP and the ones they sent me. Wow, there are a lot of them. Maybe if I say it has attachment. Wow, that's way better. So nothing here, no attachments, nothing here. So just a confirmation they received email. Again, confirmation. Here's the first one. So the first response from them, this is prosecutor was here, DRAGAN TESIC, Deputy Prosecutor of Belgrade Prosecution of Appeals, and they just pick only one of emails which suits them and notified me that they forwarded this to higher instance prosecution of Serbia, although they saw that they committed major crimes, but they are just pretending nothing is happening, and they calling my crime reports submissions. So I explained why. So basically nothing new here. Another one. So the first one was Tesic. Next one is Chief Prosecutor Tomislav Kilibarda. I think that he's still Chief Prosecutor. All Belgrade Prosecution of Appeals. Again, well, he's now changing the story and calling my crime report complaint. It's not a complaint, it's a crime report against Chief Prosecutor of Higher Instance Prosecution in Smederevo, which was the prosecution investigating my grandfather's murder. Blah blah blah. This is the case of my grandfather's murder. 6/28/15. He died in October 2015. actually was murdered, finished up, to be more precise, by doctors from Belgrade, from a clinical center of Belgrade, part of clinical center. Okay. She's invoking some rule book, the rule book, blah, 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 and so on and so on. So nothing new here. They are constantly treating my crime reports either as a submission or complaint. I explained what that means, so I'm not going into details. So again, nothing new. What's this? Okay, this is the third one. Now Deputy Prosecutor LJUBISA Dragasevic, again, Belgrade Prosecution of Appeals, dates, numbers, and so on and so on. He's now calling my, again, taking only one of tenths of my crime reports. Now they forwarded this to Elementary Prosecution of Appeals in Smederevo, blah, blah, blah. He stated here that I will be notified about this by Elementary Prosecution of Smederevo. That I think that never happened. I don't remember that happened. Maybe somebody blocked me email. So these are three prosecutors, including chief prosecutor. This never happens. The chief prosecutor is dealing with this because it's not his job, except if it is high profile case. So they proved it is high profile case because it's as I showed in other videos, it's international case. Interpol is involved, and so on and so on, in cover up of my grandfather's murders. And because I extended my crime reports to more than 40 cases of international organized crime related to Serbia, to put everything in a much larger context. Even now I have, I mean not now, but since July 2021, I even have FBI and United States Department of Justice involved. Again, I'm not going into details. So one more time, these are the three that I got from them, the three responses. Let's see this one, if there is something from them. Nothing, just confirmation. Okay. This one, again, just confirmation. And is it the last one? Sorry. Just confirmation, so nothing. Okay. So these were the only response I got from them. And of course, in my on my YouTube channel, there are a lot of videos. Either those videos are either videos of emails, which I started creating after middle of June 2021. Before that, they were on that G drive that I just showed. So what's this? So the other thing, except those videos of emails, are video recordings of phone calls to a lot of mostly state institutions. So one of them is also Republic Prosecution Office. So this is another proof. There is a description how they covered up everything. And again, prosecution of appeals, recordings of phone calls between me and prosecution of appeals, either administration or documents office. So these are those courts, prosecution office of appeals, and so on, which shows how they are trying to cover everything up and to avoid in every possible way to send me cases related to murders of my family. So that would be all regarding the basically list of prosecution offices, prosecutors, and chief prosecutors from the highest instances of prosecution involved in cover-up of monstrous murders of my family. So one more thing that I need to mention, there are some prosecution offices that never answered, like prosecution office of war crimes. Here are two videos on them. Then also prosecution office of for organized crime, never answered. The only thing I have from them, what? So now they gave me something that's not related to my channel. I never saw this ever. Okay, maybe if I go here and try it again. Now it works. So phone call to prosecution office for organized crime, state organized crime, so they never answered. I don't have any email from them, only these phone records, video phone records, and from them you can get some of the people who are some of the prosecutors or chief prosecutors who are involved. Of course, chief prosecutors are involved by default, because without their consent, their colleagues from their office, deputy prosecutors would never do anything like this, so brutally breaking the law. So the last thing, and one more time, the lower instance prosecutions are covered, their crimes are covered in those lower instance means higher instance prosecution, but lower by the means that they're below the prosecution of appeals and republic prosecution office. So those other are covered in other videos. So I won't do this here. So prosecutors from other prosecution offices and deputy prosecutors are covered in other emails, other videos on my channel. So I'm not going into details now about that. But the last thing I must mention is something that happened it was beginning of July. So this is when I sent email to United States Department of Justice accusing United States federal government that they are behind the illegal arms trade in Serbia. So this is a record of that email. So as you can see, it's July 7th, I think that's the date. And so it says here, but I need the HD. So this is an email. So this email is and video, of course, is important because after this, prosecution officers started giving me information that they refused to give for I don't know, like 3 years. And I'm showing here those records. So from those records, it can be seen they are after 7th of July, 26th of July. From these records, so records of phone calls I had with different prosecution offices and courts, they started giving me information that, of course, many of them, not all, they suddenly started cooperating, and when they promised they will send me everything I asked, they in the end haven't done that, which means that somebody from highest instances, probably government, or maybe from even from DA, directly from United States Embassy, or maybe even UK Embassy, or German Embassy. So somebody very powerful intervened, because after I sent that email, they figured out it's not a joke anymore, and they wanted to send me this, because then it would seriously affect, it would have a major effect on their conviction, because they will probably get way less years in jail because they started cooperating. But somebody stepped in, somebody extremely powerful, and threatened them not to send that, and they haven't sent. And they sent nothing in the end. So this was the last thing that I needed to mention. So again, a lot of proofs that this is high-profile case, and I proved long time ago in July 2019, when I involved Interpol, that it is international organized crime case. So my monstrous murders of 3 members of my family are international organized crime case and high-profile case. Of course, those foreign factors are not directly involved, but they don't want to, since these are horrific, monstrous crimes, they don't want to be related to those crimes by any possible means. So, okay, I think I covered everything. If there is something more, I will probably create a second part related to this. So for now, that will be all.